Hey Canucks fans, welcome to another edition of Ask Me Anything. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Sunday, July the 11th. Subscribe now for Canucks Insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Yes, it's Sunday. That means it's my regular Ask Me Anything, and more of this tonight if you want to join me at 10 p.m. for my regular live stream on YouTube. And if you saw from my Twitter account or my Instagram or my Facebook, had some friends over yesterday celebrating a belated birthday for myself. Happy belated birthday. Why, thank you very much. And it was really, really nice. Some nice gifts, more importantly, some wonderful company. And one of my best friends, Andrea, made me actually a tumbler with my CCC logo and my old, it wasn't the thumbs up meme, but it was my old caricature. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the one where I'm wearing the blue Canucks jersey. Anyways, I posted a picture of that. So no actual CCC merchandise coming just yet, but it did get me thinking for sure. Okay, so many great questions today. In fact, it's the most I've ever received. Close to 20 questions. Certainly can't get to all of them here, otherwise this video would be too long. So what I'll do is I'll the ones that I do not respond to in this video later on tonight, I will respond to those in writing. So if I didn't get to your question, I apologize. I try to take a nice mixture of a nice variety of questions. So let's get going. Travis Green says this: thoughts on using Quinn Hughes more often in the shootout? Dougie Hamilton in Carolina is always the first shooter, and Edler was a regular when he was young. I think it's a great idea. I think when you're younger and you're creative, as Quinn Hughes is, you're a great, skater, great puck handler, and there's no book on you on shootouts, right? Because you haven't done a lot, so that's both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, you haven't done a lot of shootouts, so maybe you're not the most confident, but I think he's so young, he's so carefree, he's so skilled that he could be a dangerous, viable weapon as a shootout shooter, a shootout taker, whatever you call them. So and there's no book on Quinn Hughes in the shootout. So I'd love to see it, especially as we see, if guys that we use aren't doing well or if they're getting a little stagnant. So yeah, I'd be open to Quinn Hughes being a shootout, one of our shooters in the shootout, and give the other team a different look. That's a really good thought, actually. Nux 649, doesn't Edler have a no movement clause? Yes, he does, but he's a UFA technically. So, yeah, we wouldn't trade. There's no point trading him. Well, there's no point for another team trading for him because when they can just sign him as a UFA, right? So we don't have to worry about the no movement clause because I think the Canucks are going to let his contract run out and then decide if they're going to re-sign him. So, yes, he does a no movement clause, but it's not going to affect anything because the Canucks aren't going to trade Edler away before he becomes a free agent on July the 28th, and that's because no team would take Edler and give up assets for him, knowing that they could actually just go after him as a free agent on July the 28th. C edits: which Canucks players do you see winning the Hart Trophy in the near future? The only one. Which Canucks players do you see winning the Hart? I think Elias Pettersson is the obvious choice as the most valuable player, as voted by the writers. I think guys like Besser and Horvat, Demko, Hughes, they're all good, but I don't know if they're going to be Hart Trophy candidates. Same with Podkolzin and Hoglander. Good players, but Hart, you're the best of the best. So I think Pettersson definitely has the best chance. And besides, with Demko, you want more likely to win a Vezina, and then a Norris for Quinn Hughes. David Saunders says, would you name or word the commentary change to starting with K if you started a cracking commentary? Yes, David, I'm not sure if you saw, I made a joke on this on Twitter. No, I will not do Clay's cracking commentary all with K's because of the horrible abbreviation of KKK for obvious reasons. Also, I thought about it, but I think there's going to be a lot of good Seattle vloggers already. And as much as I think I could do a good job, I don't want to divide my energy, split my audience. I wouldn't split my audience, but I wouldn't want to also give the impression that I'm jumping ship from the Canucks. So I'm sure, especially if anything that Seattle does, i.e. their schedule, expansion draft, it affects the Vancouver Canucks, I'll definitely vlog about it, but certainly not going to do it on a regular basis. Not regular enough to name it, that's for sure. Rome Ticklin says this: what do the Canucks have to achieve this upcoming season, at the very least, for you to consider it a success? Just making the playoffs, getting out of the first round. Honestly, if they make the playoffs, to me, that's a success. And getting out of round one is good. But I really have high hopes for 2 seasons from now, when Beagle, Roussel, Eriksson, Holtby, cap recapture penalty, when those when those contracts are off the books, when we have Podkolzin's a year in, Hoglander's 2 years in, we still have Horvat, Besser, Pettersson, Hughes, Demko. So that's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for at least a 1-round win, if not 2 years from now. Next season, Rome, to be honest with you, for it to be a success, I think winning 1 round, I think the minimum should be making the playoffs, because otherwise, what are you doing, right? And Jim Benning has said as much. So let's go with that. Success would be winning 1 round. What's the expectation? Making the playoffs for sure. Maestro, do you think NHL tickets are going to be expensive for the upcoming season? My guess is I don't think they should raise them. Yes, there's a flat cap. There is no fans in the stands. You want fans to come back. They might be weary depending on COVID, protocols, blah, blah, blah. The worst thing you want to do is charge too much and give them another reason to stay away. So I don't think we're going to see a reduction in ticket prices, but I think it would be smart if the clubs did not raise their ticket prices that much. So are they going to be expensive? That's a relative term. They've always been expensive compared to other forms of entertainment, but I don't think they're going to be raising prices, or at least I don't think they should be. In fact, actually, I know this. I got my season tickets. They did not raise prices for like a 4th or 5th straight season, and they can't really afford to, at least in this market, because the Canucks have not been winning a lot. So at least I know for us as season ticket holders, the price did not go up, which is a good thing. Reaction Club, do you think Virtanen will return the next season, even if the case against him isn't solved before the beginning of the season? No Reaction Club. Just the sense I get is, just as the Canucks put him on leave, I think they're going to keep him on leave until the legal proceedings are cleared up. Even if he's found not guilty, I don't know if he's going to be here from a buyout perspective. I've talked about that many times, that he is the best buyout candidate because of his age for the Vancouver Canucks. So legal proceedings notwithstanding, he might not be here because of the buyout. Brad Clarkson, do you think it's viable to put Miller as a third-line center with Hoglander and Podkolzin being there? Me personally, I like the idea of having 3 deep lines. It makes sense, but remember, if you put Miller on the third line, and yes, he's going to get first power play unit time, all that kind of stuff, then you're really thin on the wings, right? As it stands right now, you can have PD, Horvat, and Miller as your 3 Cs, which is good. Then you only have, in terms of wingers, really good ones: Besser, Pearson, Hoglander, and Podkolzin. Hopefully that's only 4. You need 6 for 3 lines, right? So you pick your poison. You keep Miller up top, then you're looking for a third line center. If you bring him into a third line center, now you're looking for 1, if not 2 top 9 wingers. So we'll see how the Canucks flesh out the roster. I think a lot of people are thinking that Miller will play that third C, just so you have that depth down the middle, which is, along with goaltending, the most important part of your team. So we'll see what happens, but I could see them going either way. Top line with the Lotto line or third line center. North 1451, please comment on the rumor of a trade. Arizona sends Oliver Ekman-Larsson to Vancouver for Jake Virtanen and Nate Schmidt. And Mark Coleman says, why are they looking at Oliver Ekman-Larsson again? Too much money unless they keep some of the salary. So yes, to put these together, I think there's a natural link, because Oliver Ekman-Larsson said Vancouver was one of the 2 teams that he'd be open to going to last offseason. Vancouver and Boston. Vancouver was the favorite. We know that Jim Benning explored that. We know that's the reason why he ran out of time with contracts to people like Toffoli and Stetcher. But I don't see this happening. I just think that's a lot of money to bring in. You're right, unless the Coyotes retain some of that, which they could. But it's a lot of money, and for a long time. And you could argue he's past the peak of his career, or at least there right now. He's only going to go downhill from here. So I do not think the Canucks should seriously look at it. But if there's a trade to be made, Thomas Drance seems to think that the Coyotes they're the ones who should throw in a sweetener because of that, taking that heavy contract. So if it's Ekman-Larsson and something else for Schmidt and Virtanen or whatever it may be, then I think the Canucks could look at it. But still, to me, it's more unlikely than it is likely. But I think the rumors are always going to be there, because it's 2 teams that didn't make the playoffs. You're always looking to improve, and because he was linked to the Canucks last season. Finally, Justin Lai says, he asked, I didn't type it out, but I remember what he asked. He asked, it's a wrestling question, is who's going to defeat Roman Reigns and when? I have a feeling that if it's not going to be one of the superstars, the part-timers they bring in, like a Rock or John Cena or Brock Lesnar, I think it could be Seth Rollins. I think it would be a wonderful callback to the Shield storyline. Rollins is always at the top of his game. He's on the same brand as SmackDown as Roman Reigns. So maybe it's not going to be Edge, Lesnar, Cena, The Rock. Maybe it's going to be Seth Rollins, and maybe they do a slow burn for the story all the way to WrestleMania of next year. We'll see. Or Survivor Series. Lots to think about, but a great question, Justin. A nice non-Canucks question as well. So that was only half of them, you guys. The other half, I'll get to. I'll write some comments out later. So thank you for your understanding that way. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your reaction to any of my answers, and I'd love for you to join me tonight at 10 p.m. on my YouTube channel for my weekly Clay's Canucks commentary live stream. 10 p.m. tonight on YouTube. Shout out to my Hall of Fame members: Jens95, Sim Alexander, Justin Credible, nucksfan number 29, Lucas Gates, Adam Broomfield, Chris Seifried, Shea Family Channel, JB Sports Talk and More, Shannon Hollingworth, and Andrew Chang. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video description. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Gonna help throw now a baby shower for my sister-in-law, my wife Gail's, her younger sister Julianne. They're expecting their second kid, so we're off to Gary Point in Steveston. So if you're in Steveston, come say hi to me at Gary Point. See you tonight at 10 p.m. Subscribe if you like to, like this video if you like to, become a member of this channel if you like to, and leave a comment below your reaction to any of my answers. Have a great day. Enjoy the sun. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. God bless. Go Canucks, go.